Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times. If someone told you that you were going to die, but also told you how you could avoid that fate, would you listen? Well, in Revelation chapter 18, verse 8, St. John writes this about Mystery Babylon. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be burnt with fire, because God is strong, who shall judge her. But then St. John offers relief. In chapter 18, verse 4, he says this, "And I heard another voice in heaven saying, Come out from her, my people, that you partake not of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues." So, here is our problem. Are we a part of Mystery Babylon? Can we determine her location? Because if we are going to follow St. John's advice and avoid her plagues, we must come out from her. We must know who Babylon is and where she is located. Of course, Satan does not want you to know who Mystery Babylon is. He wants you to partake of her sins. He wants you to be afflicted by her plagues. If you do a simple search on YouTube, you will find that Satan has posted hundreds, perhaps thousands of videos trying to deceive you. He gives you the false information, for example, that Mystery Babylon is the Catholic Church. That is a lie from the pit of hell. If you have bought into Satan's lies, you will be filled with despair when Babylon is burned with fire in 1 hour, because then you will discover that you are a part of Mystery Babylon. Babylon is not the Catholic Church. Mystery Babylon is our own decadent Western civilization. Babylon is primarily Britain and America. Fortunately, St. John tells us the 4 locations of Mystery Babylon and how we can leave her in order to avoid her God-given punishment. In Revelation 17, verse 3, we find the first 2 of Babylon's 4 locations, when John says that an angel carries him away into the desert. And he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. Some Bibles say desert. And I saw a woman sitting. Notice that word sitting. That indicates a location. Upon a scarlet-colored beast. And that is Babylon's second location. The first location is that both Babylon and the scarlet beast she rides are in a spiritual wilderness. The second location is that Babylon is sitting atop the scarlet beast. What that indicates is that decadent Western capitalism is controlling international communism. In Revelation 17, verse 3, St. John gives us Mystery Babylon's third location, and that is her geographical location, which, by the way, is not the city of Rome, as the false prophets would like to convince you. Come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot that sits upon many waters. Notice that word sits. That is another indication of location. Now, the 7 heads on the scarlet beast do indicate Rome, but they belong to international communism. And the reason is because the final one-world communist tyranny will be placed by the Antichrist in the city of Rome. So now we have discovered Mystery Babylon's spiritual location in a wasteland. We have discovered her geopolitical location astride the Scarlet Beast. And we now know her geographical location on many waters. And now let's look at her mental location, or her mental attitude, as John describes in Revelation 18, verse 7. So much as she has glorified herself and lived luxuriously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she says in her heart, I sit, notice that word sit, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. So this is Babylon's fourth location. She sits upon a throne. So now that we know who Mystery Babylon is, and that we are a part of Mystery Babylon in the decadent West, we must go out from her 4 locations. And the first location was in a spiritual desert. And there's no doubt, if any of you have ever gone to a movie or watched television, and I'm sure you have, except maybe for the Amish, you know that our decadent entertainment promotes abortion, contraception, sterilization, fornication, divorce, homosexuality, pornography. All we get from our entertainment in the decadent West is raw sewage. You must escape that particular location of Babylon if you want to avoid her sins and her plagues. Babylon's second location was astride the Scarlet Beast, and that indicates that our Western capitalism controls international communism. However, those roles will soon be reversed. Barack Obama is doing everything he can to bring communism to America. But I don't think even he is working fast enough for the Antichrist. We must accept that communism will rule America. I know this is very hard to accept, but you must if you want to be mentally prepared for what is going to happen to our nation. Leaving this particular location of Babylon means you must readjust your thinking. Mystery Babylon's third location is her geographical position upon many waters. A lot of people ask me, should I leave America? Should I leave Britain? But the question is, where would you go? Most countries in the world have adopted capitalism to one degree or another. I think the key phrase here is upon many waters. That's the location we must leave. If you look at the major cities of America, 90% of them are located upon major bodies of water. Look at the East Coast, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, all the way down to Miami. Look at the Gulf of Mexico. You've got New Orleans. You've got Houston. Look at the West Coast on the Pacific Ocean, San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles, all the way up to Portland or Seattle. In fact, many of our inland great cities are located on the Great Lakes. You've got Detroit, Chicago, Minneapolis, you've got Buffalo. So I believe what John is telling us, to come out from Babylon, means that we must leave those big cities. In fact, I have often said, move as far away as possible from any Planned Parenthood clinic. Those places are infested with demons. Just ask anyone who counsels young women going in to abort their babies. They will tell you those places are surrounded with evil. Come out from Babylon means to get as far away from those big cities and those evil abortion clinics as you possibly can. And Babylon's fourth location is upon a throne, because she believes she is a queen and will not see sorrow and is not a widow. Well, John tells us just the opposite is going to occur to Babylon. And you and I must steel ourselves mentally to accept the fact that there are going to be many widows and widowers in the United States of America after we are burned with fire in 1 hour. Many of your friends and relatives are going to be killed. Will you be able to accept that without falling into despair? We must put our faith and hope in our Lord. As Mary said at La Salette, regarding the Great Tribulation, which Jesus said will be the worst in the entire history of mankind, Mary said that only faith will survive. So in conclusion, the bad news is that Babylon will be burned with fire in 1 hour. The good news is that St. John tells us exactly how we can avoid those plagues. Please don't listen to Satan's great deception on YouTube from the false prophets that Babylon is the Catholic Church. Satan does not want you to leave Babylon. He wants you to suffer those plagues. He wants you to partake of those sins. And I want to also mention at the end of this program, please visit my new website called thirdeaglemedia.com, where I am currently unsealing the prophecies of Daniel. And I hope to have chapter 8 posted very soon.